What's happening, Wisdom Warriors? Back at it for another video. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Another couple days and I'm getting the new camera and there will be 4K video recorded on these videos. So be prepared. The sound should be much, much better. And we'll be working on the series that I'm going to be doing for you guys. But I want to jump into something that happened to me. Yesterday, I took a class and I'm already signed up for the next one. But I want to, as I always speak about, I come on here and I'm very fully authentic and transparent with everything. And I want to speak about this because also it's gonna lead me into what we were speaking about yesterday and what I recorded on the short for you guys earlier about depression and anxiety and all of that, mental health, pretty much all of that whole arena. So I want to just mention first, and let me tell you something, for the first time for both of us, it was spot on. And I don't know how many of you in this community dabble in the Akashic records or even know what that is or have heard of it. But essentially, it's basically the best way I can describe it to you is a kind of like a library, but it's not like a physical library, but it's a library nonetheless. And it's a library of all your lives, every life you've ever lived, every millisecond you've done something in that life is recorded. Everything is recorded and goes into this Akashic records, which gets stored a few inches above the crown chakra. So a few inches above the head, it's stored invisibly up here. So when you're accessing the Akashic records, you're focusing on the crown chakra, which is up here, and obviously, but for whoever doesn't know, it's your head. That's where the crown chakra is, and the Akashic records are a few inches above that. And and in those Akashic records, everything is in there. I mean, I'm talking from your life purpose to just everything, what you've done, what you haven't done, what you want, what you're, the things that you're experiencing currently, and again, these things can be altered. They're not fully set in stone, but I had a reading done for my dad before he passed, and he essentially, now mind you, I'm just passing on information. I don't know if this is true or not, but I believe it because it actually happened. And so I'm not going to go into detail about his reading and whatnot. I don't feel like that's necessary, but anyways, we basically, so I posted in the forum of the school that I was looking for a partner. They have a partner section so that you can practice, because when you're starting out, you want to practice with somebody. You don't want to just do it. It's not going to be as easy to just do it on yourself. It's easier to do it with partners and a partner. And so somebody reached out to me in the forum and, through my email, and I reached back out and we made a time and we did it today and we jumped on Zoom. And I'm not going to go fully into detail about everything that transpired, but I will say this, for our first time, everything that he said literally was spot on. And it was amazing how we connected and how literally we felt like we knew each other forever. And it's funny, like where he was moved from first and I moved from. It was like almost the same like places other than where we are now and he is. So it's pretty interesting. But what was interesting is a lot of the things that came up or in relation to me speaking my truth and being authentic. And that maybe when I was younger, I was taught not to show those emotions and I wasn't being validated with them. So then with women, I tend to put up a wall or protect myself, preparing myself for rejection so I don't get rejected or get hurt, which a lot of people do that. But it relates to me and my life because it's exactly what I have been doing. And, just the things that he described, feelings that he was getting body and sensations and the same thing that I was getting for him for different things, of course. But it was really, really interesting. And I'm going to take you on this journey with me because this is the first time we're practicing. I signed up for the second class, which starts, I think, March 23rd. And then the second one of that level 2 is in April. But we're going to practice more, and I'm intrigued to go deeper. And the more we practice, the more we're going to, it's kind of like the tarot to an extent because it's all story based, and they give you, depending on your personality and the way you receive messages and things like that. That's how they bring the messages to you, the way that you're most used to. So it was interesting how he was getting messages and how I was. But for our first time, I really think it was amazing. And it was really, really cool to tap into the akashic records and open the records and, go on this new journey that I'm on. I'm really excited for this and what's going to unfold and what's going to happen. And as I said, I'm going to take you guys on the journey. My kind of questions were surrounding relationship and soulmate and romantic partner and how she's going to show up and all those kind of things. But you have to be more in detail and more not just yes and no questions. You want them to be more in depth of a question. But it's funny how I kind of broad when we were when I was asking and when he was in my records and but then it started to like all connect, but it all led back to me being authentic, and which is kind of what I've been being told for months now and months and months. Surrender, let go, and be authentic. Be authentic. Not only, well, a lot of it come on here and be authentic, but if I'm out with a female, to be fully authentic. And apparently, like he was describing, my shoulders were hunched over because they were actually protecting the heart. And I kind of like it's interesting because then later on he brought up my mom and my mom was connected to it. And me growing up at a younger age, I have to listen back. I hope that he recorded it and I want to listen back and then maybe I will go into more detail and bring you some more information on it. But I just wanted to start out with that because it was awesome, man. It was awesome for the first time. So glad that I did the class. I'm so glad that we connected and I didn't like out of fear or being scared. Like in the past, I would have saw myself probably not even meeting up with him on there just out of fear and being scared. And but in actuality, now I just went on there and I was so comfortable and we just got right into it. We gave a little background about each other and then we went into it and it was amazing. And I'm so grateful to have met him and for us to have started on this journey together. We'll see where it takes us. I'm looking forward to our next session we do together, and just keep practicing and getting better and better at, because it requires, sometimes depending on the people, it requires a lot of your senses. Like for me, I was seeing visuals, I was getting words dropping in, I was getting I'm trying to remember, like sensations in the body. I was getting a lot of different senses. I didn't get like a smell type of sense. I didn't really hear things, but it's hard to describe how I got those drop-ins, because I was trying to explain it to him, and it was kind of difficult to explain. But it's almost like when I ask my body things, and I hear, like I don't hear it. It's not like somebody's talking to me saying it, and I'm hearing like a sound, but it's like you see the word, but then you could hear it, like you could. Yeah, I can't really explain it, to be honest. I think I tried to explain it in a previous video, but yeah, I wanted to talk about some other things about mental health, and and all those things, because that was what the main video, this video was going to be about, and I don't want to exceed like 20 minutes or so, because I feel like that's the threshold that people have for, if you guys drop in the comments and you like the longer videos, I'll do longer videos. But for the most part, I'm going to keep them shorter, and we'll just do more of them. But it's funny because what he was talking about and how I would show up to women that I was dating, or show up in the world in general, was there was a level of protection. And he got also sadness and anger. And sadness was more in the throat area or chest area, closer to the heart. And then I think the anger was like in the jaw area. And so, and that's kind of all in correlation with anxiety and with depression, and a level of sadness around, uh, man, wow. I just, it's just like it's almost like a deeper level, like when you're in a therapy session and you're trying to get to the deeper level, like you're trying to go, like there's always something between those, beneath those emotions. And it's interesting because that stuff came up. And I haven't had, because we just had the session just ended. We just ended the Zoom session like shortly before I came on here, and maybe like 10-15 minutes before. And so I haven't had too much time to reflect on it, and see what resonates and what comes up. And so maybe tomorrow I'll go into more depth on it, after I have some time to sit with it. But it was, yeah, it's like a puzzle. And but I just want to get a little more deeper into, like, mental health, and and depression and anxiety, and how we have to take care of our mental health. We really, really do, because and you have to find like different tools that can help you navigate those things, because you can go down these rabbit holes and these spirals. I've had kind of like this throughout my life, and sometimes they got smaller waves, and then other times it was like bigger dips, and it hasn't been an easy journey. But I can tell you this, that the more work you do with yourself, with meditation and with yoga and with walking in nature and spending time with yourself, can help immensely, along with, of course, nutrition and what you're putting into your body, what you're eating, what you're consuming. Let me just say this. I was going down that rabbit hole, that dark hole, so to speak, again in 2020. And I found myself having to get off social media and detox from it. I also found myself on NoFap. I had to bring the neurotransmitters back in balance. They were so out of whack through porn, through all of that stuff, through social media, through Instagram, through I was burning myself out in 2020 with Instagram, posting videos daily. It was a different kind. Where I was coming from with the videos was different. Whereas when I post a video now, it's coming from the heart. And I don't feel like it's my own energy. I feel passion behind what I'm bringing you, because these are all life experiences that I've gone through and what I've experienced. And in turn, I'm turning around and giving it away and giving it back to somebody else that could need it, that needs it or could use it. And, but you really do have to give your mind a chance to, because you're constantly getting dopamine hits, and you understand that the way that works is the more and more you're doing those activities, like even scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, the more and more dopamine releases you're getting, or even the notifications you receive on your phones, the constant dings that you receive are hitting your dopamine receptors, and you're releasing more dopamine, and a lot of it, a lot more than we're supposed to be. So I had to essentially take a break from all of it. Like the last 2 years, and I'm still not on social media, and I'm still not on porn. I will not go back to that. It's been over 2 years now, and I can tell a difference, a huge difference. Do I see the difference that people talk about on NoFap? No, I don't. But I do see a difference. And I really feel like the reason a lot of people do it is for disciplinary reasons, because it is a very difficult addiction to overcome. And so whatever you have to do to tell yourself to stop is the best thing. But I can tell you right now, no matter what it was, whether it was smoking cigarettes, no matter what it was, I had to go cold turkey and just stop. I had to delete my Instagram account. I had to delete my Facebook account completely, just wipe everything out. I had tons of stuff from years. I mean, I had that account from like 2007, maybe, well, yeah, maybe even farther back than that. I don't know, whenever Facebook came about. And I had photos and people, connections, and friends on there and everything. And I just literally just closed the whole account and deleted it. I didn't even save anything. I just deleted it. I had to do it. And I don't plan to go back. The same thing with Instagram. I had thousands of followers on there, or subscribers, whatever you want to call it. And I just deleted the account. And currently the only account that I'm on really essentially is Telegram and YouTube. And I don't think YouTube can be dicey too. Let me tell you, you can get very addicted to the shorts that they're doing now. You can get very addicted to just scrolling through your feeds and putting video after video. And you have to be careful with that too. And you have to, I mean, if you have to take breaks and detox the mind so you can get the dopamine receptors back in balance. And the last 2 years, what I did was nature, spending as much time as I could outside without my phone or without any technology, and reading books, reading spiritual books, reading books like Four Agreements, The Power of Now, a lot of Dolores Cannon's books, The Law of One, which I'm still in the process of reading, A Course in Miracles, which I put down and never really got back up to read, which I will start reading again. A lot of Gabby Bernstein's work, Linda Howe's for the Akashic Records, just I moved, hitting rock bottom in 17, in 2020, and before that even, just kept leading me more and more on a spiritual path, in a spiritual journey and soul searching within myself to find my self-worth, to find my uh, to find who I am and what I want and what I don't want. Which was another interesting thing that he said in there, was that self-worth. And that's what the shoulders have to do with self-worth. And self-worth was tied around feeling like I'm protecting myself from being judged, because they're going to judge me, but I judge myself more. And that was what it kind of was surrounding, the sadness around, and the anger and the frustration of how much I judge myself. And it's a belief that I'm replaying over and over again. And he said he felt very nauseous in the stomach, like he needed to vomit. And which was like, I said, what is it like? So then he said, like, no, like vomiting an emotion. And that's, just totally spot on, man. And yeah, it's amazing. If you have not heard of the Akashic Records, look into it, man. It can really help you with your mental health too, and your direction, and getting you more course cleared on your path, and just finding out things you want to find out. And my email is in the about area of the of my profile on this channel. You can email me and I can give you information of a book I read. I can also direct you to this amazing school, and you can check it out for yourself. I have no sponsorship or anything with them. They don't even know about my YouTube channel. So I'm not getting anything out of it. If you're interested, just shoot me an email. I can send you the information or the website link, and you could check it out yourself. And no mention of me. You don't have to mention me or anything. I'm not, not looking for any of that. As I said, we have 40. By the way, we have 40 subscribers now. Every day we're increasing subscribers, and every day we're growing. Like I said, we would be at a slow snail pace, but that's okay. We're growing nonetheless. And I'm appreciative and grateful for everyone who has subscribed, for everyone that has commented, for everyone that has liked the videos, for everyone that has shared the videos, because you're getting them out to somebody that needs it. And we all are struggling through mental health stuff. One thing that I can tell you, when I was really down bad, 2017, I remember, looking physically like, well, as I rebuilt myself, I looked physically okay, but I was still struggling mentally with a lot of stuff. And what I started to realize is, which, mind you, when I had these multiple awakening moments, what really upset me was the fact that someone with like a broken leg, you'll help them and you'll open the door, but then someone struggling with a mental health struggle is not really looked at in that way. And not to mention, we kind of look at people that are going through stuff like that, like, oh, you should be in a straitjacket, you should be in one of those mental institutions, and oh God, you can't talk about that. Oh God, you better go to a doctor, blah blah blah. And that really upset me, because you don't ever know. Like they say, don't judge a book by its cover. You don't ever know what somebody is actually going through mentally and internally. They could have lost somebody, like I lost my father last year. They could have lost somebody right then and there, and then you don't know why they're acting the way they're acting. Does it make it right? No. And I'm not justifying that. But at the same time, we have to hold more compassion, not only for ourselves, but for others. We have to hold compassion for others just as well. no matter how they act. You don't know why they're acting that way. And a lot of times it is trauma based, or it is old patterns, or belief systems, or maybe they're just frustrated with where their life is and how their life got to wherever it is. You just don't know. And we are in this ascension process, this awakening process, this at the same time amazing time to be alive, but at the same time a time that you're like, why in the hell did I do this? Why did I volunteer to come down here? Because by far, I would have to say that this has to be the hardest time to ever be alive, but yet it's the most rewarding. Because never in the history of humanity have we been able to heal such wounds and trauma as fast as we are now. And just, awaken as fast as we are. And at a rapid pace, it's like unstoppable now. Because everyone and their mother is waking up, but yet there's still a large percentage that is not. So, but it requires a lot of compassion and empathy, and just just holding that space for others, not only for others but for ourselves, and not casting judgment on ourselves or others, because that this all surrounds mental health, and it all surrounds depression and anxiety. And I've struggled with it majority of my life. I came into this world never feeling like I belonged, always feeling like I was alone, and never like I could fit in. And it was a struggle to fit in anywhere, with friends, with family, with romantic partners, which has been very little, to say the least. Excuse me. And I base my self-worth around that. Like, because we value romantic partnerships and romantic relationships very high on the spectrum, the way that the Matrix or society has portrayed it. Like, oh, you have to find this love of your life, and you're going to find this love, and you're going to fall in love at first sight, and you're going to have a picket fence, and a white picket fence, and blah, blah, blah. And, and like this passionate, intimate sex. And, and it's just going to be like unicorns and rainbows, and, and like, and God forbid you have a miscommunication, or you have an argument that's not spiritual. Or just all of those emotions that we don't really necessarily like, anger, sadness, frustration, are the ones that we've been taught to push down or avoid. And then what happens? They want to come up, and they come up all at once. And there lies the depression and the anxiety, because you don't even know why the hell you're feeling the way that you're feeling, because it's all rushing in. And so, and then we find sadness around that, because we're getting up in age, as we think age is everything. And we're coming up in age, and we're getting older, and we're not going to be able to have kids because doctors say you can't have kids at that age. And do you want to really foster a kid, or watch a kid, or have a kid at that age? And then when you're older, they're going to be still young. So there's all these things that we start thinking about as we come up in age, and then we start getting depressed and anxiety, and because we're not living up to what society says we should be, and we're putting so much pressure on ourselves to have all this external success and family and loved ones, and then you don't fit in, and then you don't fit in with friends anymore that you used to be friends with most of your life. And then you don't align with them, and then you don't have anything in common anymore. And it's like all these things that we have to deal with, and then you're judged because you don't have enough, or you're not a doctor or a lawyer, or you didn't, you don't have $1 million in your bank account, or, 10 cars and a house with 10 bathrooms. Like, who cares about any of that stuff? You know, in actuality, does it really make you happy? Ask yourself that. Does it really, really bring you true happiness? Because what I remember is I got those new pair of Nike Airs Maxes for $120 or $30, right? And then I wore them a few times, and then I was like, oh man, they got this new pair. I just walked through the mall, and oh my God, I want that pair. And then you want the next pair, and then the next pair, or the newest cell phone, or the newest laptop, or, it's like, when is enough enough? You know, like, when do you get to the point where I just want more and more and more? Like, when, like, and you get those new pair of shoes, and you get that quick dopamine hit, because that's what you're getting, and then it slowly but surely wears off, just like that new car you got. After a while, you just drive it like it's was the previous car. You know, there's the excitement wears off. And you end up chasing that excitement and that dopamine hit in every area of your life, whether it be a female or a male partner, or material things, or a new house, or a new location that you move, or a new job. You're constantly searching for that next level, for that next massive dopamine hit. And it keeps having to get more and more and more, whether it be with porn, whether it be with women. It's not good enough. Like, I just hooked up with this chick, or this female, or this male, and now on to the next one, because now she or he is not exciting anymore. So now I have to find something more kinky or more exciting, or find that new pair of shoes, and then you end up with thousands of pairs of shoes in your closet. And I'm not hating on anybody. This is my journey, my experience. Please don't take offense to anything I say. I'm saying it from personal experience, and that's my personal experience has been, and I know for a fact so many others. And then we end up with garages full of shit that we don't even know what to do with, where it came from, how we got it, and what to even do with it. And it's so overwhelming. And like, I've been dealing with these containers that I've been going through, not knowing where to get rid of the stuff, not knowing what to do with the stuff, just knowing that I need to get rid of it and I need to give it away or sell it or do whatever. So it's like a never ending cycle that never ends. I mean, and that's partially is the ego too. The ego has a lot to do with that, because it tries to hold on to everything. Like, that's its way of safety. Like, oh, let me just grab onto everything in the external out of safety and protection. And so it comes a point when you have to realize, and you have to evaluate your patterns and what you're doing, and those things that you continually are experiencing in your external or internal. Just like I just said with this reading, it kind of leads back to this with the Akashic Records and getting that information, which is kind of something I've heard now for the past couple years from different people. Very similar, if not almost spot on and identical. And so it all points back to depression and anxiety and panic attacks, and all of that is a lot of the times. First of all, depression, they always say, is living in the past, and anxiety is living in the future. But again, there's always something underneath that stuff that it correlates to or leads to. Just like I said in the beginning with anger, and there's something underneath anger always, and then underneath that there's layers. It's always layers, and you're unpeeling, you're you're peeling the onion, so to speak, and so with that, you can do breath work, you can do yoga, you can meditate, you can go in nature. All these things will bring you home to yourself to help you and assist you in unpacking these things. Like I've been finding, like I found the tarot, or it found me, like the Akashic records. A couple years ago, I found, or it found me, a book by Linda Howe that talks about how to get into the Akashic records and all about it. Never really fully read it, and never really dove into it, but I had readings done by other people to me and also to my father. And then now all of a sudden, somehow, I don't even remember how I stumbled upon her school. I don't even know how it got into my email or how I even signed up. And these are things that happen a lot of times when our soul is guiding us. And it happened even with the tarot. So, and now I'm signed up for 2 tarot classes, and one of them I really haven't fully started. I think I'm going to do that one after I finish the live one. So I feel like that's where we're going to leave it today. I feel like my life and my journey with anxiety and depression has been in a lot of different areas of my life. Fear of rejection, approaching women, and then because the lack of me approaching them because my self-confidence was low, created anger and sadness and frustration, also because I was too afraid and had too much fear around approaching them because of the fear of rejection. So I would just avoid it altogether, and then do things like go online dating because I can create a connection without meeting them in person. So if they rejected me, they wouldn't see me face to face as I experienced the rejection and pain from that. And that's how I looked at it. So I would avoid the cold approach of going up to some random woman in person and telling her I like you and I want to take you out. And so I would do it online when online dating came, and I would grow a emotional connection that way, and then we would meet up. But then it didn't really work in the way that I thought it would work, where we would build this connection and then she would be like just in love with me. So then when we met in person, there would be no chance that she would reject me. But in actuality, I dated, well, I don't even want to know if you want to call it dating, but we were building a foundation. We didn't meet for a year. And then we met in another state from where I was and she was, into a middle state because it was halfway. And basically after that, we never talked again. It was more on her end, but I don't think I think that I was pretending to think that it was going to work out when she had like over 5 kids. And that was not going to work for me. Because to be quite honest with you, I dated a lot of women with just 1 kid, and it was very difficult to build not to say that I won't do that going forward, and not to say that I'm just warding off anybody with a kid, because that's not the case. But this is how it was over 5 years ago. And I found myself dating women that had at least 1 kid. For some reason, they were attracted to me and I was attracted to them. We were drawn together. And kids were always drawn to me. But to be honest, it just wasn't going to work. It was like she was just too busy. And I found myself, when I was dating women with a lot of kids, they were just too busy and we barely even saw each other. And that didn't work for me. But yet I did it anyway, just because they showed interest. And any bit of interest that anybody showed, I was desperate enough to say, okay, I'm going to just push down and push away what I want and what I don't want, because I didn't even know what I wanted and what I didn't want anyways. I didn't know anyway. So I was just being thrown around emotionally, everything. And whether it be friends, family, romantic partners, whatever, because I didn't know half of what I even wanted or who I was. It took me the last 5 years and multiple rock bottoms and awakenings to figure out who I am, my value, my worth. I'm still working on it. I think that for everybody is a work in progress. But I know that from what I heard in the reading, that I'm on the right path and I'm doing all the right things. I still want a lot more clarity, which I will get in the next one when we do another session together. But I would like more clarity on a lot of different areas in my life. I feel like I'm definitely much more balanced, masculine and feminine than I ever was. And I'm more balanced in general. I think that's a great place to end it. I love you guys all so much. I'm going to do like 20 minutes and look where we are, 41 minutes, guys. Well, when it comes through, it comes through. We got to just come through with it. So somebody needed the message, and I'll bring it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. We're up to 40 subscribers now. I love you all so much, man. We're getting closer and closer to that 500. And once we hit that 500, I told you, man, I'm going to go live. And I would love to bring somebody on and do some sort of interview with some sort of topic that you guys want to discuss and go deeper into. And I will talk a lot more about the Akashic Records and a lot more amazing, badass topics and things that we have access to so that we don't walk through life blindfolded and confused and not knowing what we're doing. So again, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't, that's okay too. Please subscribe, please share, please comment, please like, and please do it all if you haven't already. I love reading the comments. I love replying. I love seeing the interactions between all of us. Yeah, I hope to bring somebody on here and to go on other shows and just, just do what I'm here to do, man. Learn more about myself and give back to all of you and serve. This channel is about everything. And we talk about everything on here, man. And there's no holes barred. We talk about it all. So be prepared. As long as it's in coordinates with YouTube and their, restrictions of what you can talk about, we're talking about it all. So I love you all so much. Again, please share, comment, please subscribe. Run it up, man. We're going to the moon, baby. We're going to the moon. Love you all so much from my heart to yours. Let's just have as much love and compassion for each other and ourselves. I love you all. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this.